Sir,
We're now recording, Mayor.
all right, since we're recording, might as well call to order the City Council Budget Workshop Meeting, August 5th, 2025, at exactly 5:01 PM. Roll call, please.
Councilman Werner. Councilman Gleason.
Present.
Councilwoman Leonard is absent. Vice Mayor Langowski.
Present.
Mayor O'Connor.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Please stand and join me in the pledge. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Be seated. We have before us the budget workshop worksheet presented by the city manager.
Yes, Mr. Mayor and Council. You recall that the last budget workshop, we had some numbers. We went back and updated them, and what you have before you is those updated numbers. The highlighted in yellow, the ad valorem taxes of $7,673,690 is based on a 4.70 millage rate, which is recommended. The discount of 306,900 is based on a percentage of that, anticipating that not all will, most people will pay and get the 4% discount. The communication sales tax is updated, but that's going to get updated again from the state. So it's still out there. And also the revenue sharing is updated. The 102,769 is an updated number. The solid waste revenue that's in the revenue section of 233,400 is what is we call prepaid. It's those that close and prepay for the next year. That's prepaid revenue.
Is that based on the 324?
No, sir. The 324 is based on the 948,700, which is down to special assessments tax collector.
Okay.
And that unit, the 324, is based upon the number of houses that were CO'd as of 9/30 of 2023, I believe it is. It's almost a year behind.
Based on which date you said?
I believe it's 2023.
Okay. So when we go to our hearing, the letter that went out.
Yes,
That everyone's responding to me, and probably the others.
I've had a number of calls. Yes, there's no change from last year to this year.
So does it have any relationship to the RFQ that's going out? there that
No,
we're-
has nothing to do with it.
Okay,
It's based upon our current rate.
it's on the current rate. Okay. And if it comes in higher, what happens?
We have sufficient funds to cover any shortages, but I believe it'll come in equal to or below it.
Okay, if it is higher, we catch up on the following year?
Following year if necessary.
And if it's lower?
Then we would hold it or decrease the rate the following year.
Okay, fair enough.
Couple things on that point.
Mhm.
I specifically recall this meeting last year where everybody got that letter
Mhm.
and everybody freaked out and had concerns reasonably about that letter. And I specifically recall this body instructing staff
Mhm.
to send communications prior to the official letter coming out, kind of prepping them and explaining it to them. So we don't have to do what we're going to end up doing is sending a follow-up and an explanation after the fact. Do you remember that
I
conversation?
do not remember that conversation.
It was to preempt to say,
Yes, it was preemptive to say,
it's a pass through, it's,
correct.
Zoe's got something on that.
I do recall your discussion, council's discussion. It was brought up to legal. It was addressed prior to sending out the letter. If there was a legal way of sending it out, and city attorney advised that there is nothing that can be added to the letter.
You couldn't just add a little note at the end?
No.
I was taking direction from legal.
Okay.
What about like a social media post from the city's website? These the solid waste assessments coming soon. Remember, this is just a pass through. It gets added into your taxes. We always end up posting something after the fact. I mean, I could pull it up. But I just don't know why we couldn't do that preemptively. Like, why do we have to be reactive? Because we're gonna go through this every single year.
So it'll always be in August. We should do something in July.
Yeah, we should find the same Q&A that we have. I mean, I can pull it up and just get it out ahead of time rather than,
It
Afterward.
really happens with all the new residents that are coming. People who've
Right.
been here for years, they understand, but it's everybody, it's like sticker shock. They're like, I got another assessment coming.
Yeah.
Well, even though it's not, it's another.
Even the older residents, from what I'm hearing.
yeah.
And it's not $30 a month. I saw that comment too.
27.
It's for the year, not $30 per month. It's $30 per
You
year.
mean 324 a month
No, it's $324 for the year.
for the year?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Some people are saying it's $30 a month extra. I'm like, no, it's not.
No.
It's $30 for the year.
So again, if we're able to send out a separate, this is what it is and this is what it's for, after the fact, is there a reason we can't do it a month ahead of time? Just for the sake of our residents and their sanity.
We can look at that.
I don't know if I like that answer.
Well, I'll be very candid sometimes, Mayor, that having done this for nearly 40 years, you can only lead the residents so much.
It
You
won't-
cannot hold their hand on everything, and it does not matter what you do because they will complain one way or the other. So no matter how much free information you give them or bad information, late information, the same ones are going to raise Cain and complain about it regardless because they're, oh, I didn't know about this. Well, you've been living here 5 years and you've got it 5 years in a row. What can I do? I can't do anything more. So call me a little bit jaded after this many years, but sometimes I have it's something I deal with and have to fight with to get information out properly to people.
I don't know, is this the one that comes right before Christmas time that?
That was our first year.
Was the
Okay.
first year. No, this is all part, this is, the only reason that letter goes out is because of the way the statute's written. If it wasn't, all would happen is they would see the solid waste assessment on their tax bill when they get their trim notice.
Is it a state law or a county regulation?
Refer to Sean.
State law.
State law.
State law.
I mean,
So-
that's the bottom line.
Yeah, so it's,
I don't necessarily want to add something to the letter. I just want to give the public a heads up, like, hey, this is coming. But remember, and then remind them that it's something that happens.
Why don't we at our July meeting next year, forewarn everyone?
Even June, July,
Yeah.
and August.
Yeah.
3 months in a row.
That'll do
Can we
it.
at least do that?
Yeah.
we can bring it up and announce it at the meetings.
Okay.
Maybe we could also make a footnote for one of us to bring it up during our public comments too.
Yeah.
During our
Yeah,
comments.
I just won't remember, like, unless I set an alarm, which I can do. Because I forgot that it's coming.
Put it in
Calendar,
your calendar.
yeah.
Put it in your.
Well, yeah,
calendar.
what else?
That's what I'll do. Put it in, I'll put it.
And you
in.
could do it reoccurring yearly.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
Fair. Okay.
All right, as we
Uh,
go on.
continue.
As we're going down, next line item that was changed from last meeting was originally 18,000. We moved it up to 75,000, the legislative expenses, because y'all are going to more stuff.
Okay.
We also increased the council expenses to 80,000, and we increased the dues and subscriptions from 7,500 to 15K as well. We modified the office supplies up from 2,800 to 12,200. We adjusted the miscellaneous expenses from 2,800 to 12,500. We added the grants and aids of $50,000. We did leave in the deputy manager position at 150K, which is an all-in number. Let's see, the other modification was roadway services. We increased it to 13.6 to fund some of the four-way stop signs. And we did put in capital outlay for furniture for 25,000. And that 4.7, that gives you additionally going into your fund balance, 1.563 at the end of the year, if we spend everything goes the way we projected on revenues and expenses.
What does that add into the reserves?
1.563. 1,563,559. It's on the bottom of page 5. Now, you did ask me again to look at millage rate changes. And again, those are more psychological than impactful. If you drop to 4.65, instead of putting 1,563,000 away, you would put away 1,485,124. And if you drop to 4.6, you would put away 1,406,789.
Did you look at 4.5?
I would vehemently suggest do not go there, because you will be coming into a crunch in the next year or two extremely if you keep lowering your rates. Because your value of your property is not increasing at the rate that it was increasing, and your expenses are there and going up, you will hit a crash point.
What's the difference between 4.6 and 4.5? Dollar-wise.
I will say that there's one municipality that had to increase because they did not heed the information. Now they're raising this year. It's one of our cities in the South County. And I know we're on a tight area, but also we have plans for projects, whether it be the park, whether it be City Hall. If we bring our numbers down too far, we don't have grant money to, we don't have a matching fund that we're not gonna have enough to match to this.
Yeah, we kept
We're
it
in
at 4.7.
We're in a little bit of a bubble here that.
We've only had 4.7 for 1 year.
Right, no, I'm okay going down, but I was thinking maybe 469, where it shows that we're still going down, but not maybe huge. If
Yeah.
it went to 465 and it's only $100,000 in reserves, I'm okay.
Well,
with
and I know, I specifically know of 600 that thanks to the governor's veto, we were planning on spending this year and we didn't.
Right.
Um,
But we probably should get that,
But-
probably get it next year.
But I'd also like to remind the council that potentially in the very,
I just want to know the facts. What's the difference between, you said 4.6, it changes it by like 100,000, couple hundred thousand.
4.6, you'd put away,
Oh, I'm sorry.
1,406,789.
And what was 4.5?
Take off another.
4.65 was 1,485,126. 4.6 was 1,406,789.
And what was 4.5? The third time.
Back up and change it, 4.5.
You have to also keep in mind that the city that you were speaking of, right?
The what?
The city that Vice Mayor was speaking of, their effective rate is generally a lot lower because everybody's homesteaded. That city's been around for so long. Our city's only been here, people have only lived here since 2019, 2020. They're homesteaded at that point.
Right.
So we have one of the highest effective, I think the highest effective rate, not millage rate, but effective rate based on values in the entire county. City of Westlake has the highest effective rate in the entire county.
The one thing I'll say, for next year, is we'll even have more commercial and more residential. I can see us play a little bit more next year than this year. I think we're just at I'm okay going down. I'm going.
Yeah, I'm not talking about dropping it to
Yeah.
4. I'm talking about dropping it 0.2 or
Yeah.
0.3, from 4.7, 4.5. I'd like to at least know what it is.
That would put away 1,250,019.
And what did we put into reserves last year?
One
Uh,
million.
Last year, we put in,
Cut off 300,000.
Hold on, let's stand by.
if I have that.
$1,019. Oh, 1,019.
was roughly $1.5 million, I believe. I don't have the number. Right now, what you have is if you're looking at a city hall, Mr. Mayor, and you're looking at a piece of property that we would probably get within the next 6 months. If you're looking at building a city hall, say 14,000 square feet or more, you're looking at about $12.5 to $14 million. Right now, you have about $7 million that you could put towards that. You'd have to go borrow $7 million, then you'd have to have the cash flow to pay for the bonds.
I understand. I also don't. I really don't think you're saying that the $100,000 is going to affect that. That's not what you're saying, right?
I'm saying is your
That big of a
property
deal,
price,
that 100,000?
you are rapidly approaching the point where your overall growth rate increases and your expenses are going to put you upside down. I highly recommend not going below 4.65.
What was the difference between 4.65 and 4.6?
About 85 to $90,000 difference in what you would be putting away.
And what is that number? What are we putting away?
If you're at 4.6, 1,406,789.
So at 1.6, at 4.6, we're still putting $400,000 more than we did last year? Question mark?
I don't have that number exactly for what we put away last year. It's not in my.
I thought you just said it. You said
It's
it's
about it was a little over
$1.5 million
$1.5
or something.
million.
I'm, okay.
So it'd be 300 and something.
But he's telling us that we're looking at a point of equilibrium that we're gonna be passing
Mhm.
in the next year. I would say go with the city manager's suggestion of 4.65.
I'd like to see it at least at 4.6. We're still adding $400,000 more to the reserves.
I think,
We
I
have a lot of commercial coming online.
would agree with Councilman Warren. I think that we, lowering it to 4.65 would be reasonable and responsible of us.
It shows a lowering.
And I think going to 4.6, if the city manager is taking his advice, we may have to go up sooner than later. And I don't think with the projects that we have slated and the ones that have come on from the residents, I think that we need to take that in consideration, and every dollar counts, whether it's $80,000 more that we have to borrow or zero money that we have to borrow to get that done.
I happen to disagree, just, but we are a council and we're a council of 4 right now. So I'll state it. I'd like to see it at least 4.6. I know we're not talking about a huge amount, but at the end of the day, they get this tax bill. Sid seems to always go up. I fight like hell to get it down. And
Sid
it
is,
ends up being,
Sid is flat this year. Actually, there's some decreases
I
in
thought
some
you
of
said
the.
some people would see an increase of
A
$50.
few people might see some increases, but
So
the
that's
majority of
not
the,
flat.
but the majority of it is down. Overall, it's a 0.18 change.
I'd rather go down a little bit this year and maybe again next year rather than going down more this year and hoping and having to come back and ask for more.
Yeah, I don't see us raising it based on the amount of commercial we have coming in that we already know for a fact is coming, just hasn't CO'd yet.
But it's not there yet. Exactly.
Right.
Remember,
These are things that are being
It-
built.
It's almost a year to a year and a half by the time it gets
Exactly.
CO'd, by the time, because
There's a lot
again,
that's
unless it was
CO'd
CO'd by
this year,
January
right,
1st, you
Funded
can
in
see.
numbers.
Property taxes.
Till
for the
next year.
following year.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a lot that's here that
And-
is CO that businesses that are open that we haven't seen yet. I've said my piece. I'd like to, I would like to see a 4.5. I'll take
Well, I think
4.6.
We would all love that.
Would like
We
to
want
see
to be
two.
responsible.
If I could meet what the projected needs, because I know that as soon as we have a piece of land, that this council and the residents are going to be screaming for a city hall
Jump
and
on
a
it.
substation.
Right.
We don't have the money to do it. All of us are going to look bad.
I think we should, I'm okay with the 465.
I'll move a motion, I'll move,
The workshop.
The workshop.
No,
With workshop.
options.
I'll recommend.
We're just
that
talking.
We go to 4.65.
All right, so we'll come back at the first budget hearing with 4.65 as our budget.
And it's still decreased. I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor. but It's still decreased.
I
but
think- I
We
think-
just have some really cool projects that might be coming online for us, and it's great for the citizens, and
I happen
And
to
we have
think
high
we could
demand from.
push it slightly further. What's, okay, that's fine. We have another workshop before we adopt or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we have the first public hearing in September and September 2nd, second public hearing in September 11th, I believe, right?
Could I ask that just for the next workshop, we talk about the dollar amount difference? That 0.5.
Yeah, break it down by increments.
Yeah, that would actually be, you
Yeah,
know,
that's fine.
6.5 and 6.
yeah. If we could just have that at the next workshop meeting. I think it's such an insignificant number, but whatever that is, we could talk about it next time.
Okay.
Cool. Is that,
That's pretty much,
what else we got?
yeah, that's pretty much it on the budget. The rest of it is the
I'm gonna go to 5:30.
special revenue. One of the things that I guess I'll mention at this juncture versus at the council meeting is, some of you may have worked with him, some of you may not have, but, Steve Yohe, who worked with Sid,
Yeah.
passed away Saturday night from cancer.
Oh, wow.
He lost a long, hard battle. Those of you that worked with him, met him and stuff would know.
Butter.
He was actually working at the from the hospital on Thursday. That's how dedicated he was.
His daughter's name's
Madison.
Madison. Wow.
Yeah, they're residents. And, he's been with, Sid in his capacity for about 8 years now. He used to be with, Loxahatchee Groves, Development District. And prior to that, in his career, he was with the MacArthur Corporation, who built most of North Palm Beach County.
He was a young guy, wasn't he?
He was 73, I believe.
That's young.
Yes, it is.
So sorry.
But he had been fighting a long, hard battle with 2 different types of cancer and just succumbed to it.
I had no idea.
I will, once I get details, I will serve
Please.
of funerals and stuff like that. I will circulate that to staff and to council and others.
Oh, thank you, Ken. That's terrible.
And that's all I have on the budget, unless there are any other questions.
When's our next budget hearing?
Is there
September
another workshop or it's a hearing?
It's September 3rd.
3rd.
September 2nd.
Second.
On the website, it says the 3rd. City council meetings on the 2nd, budget hearings on the
Right.
3rd, because the county changed.
That's right.
Oh, we had to change to September 3rd.
The one question I have is,
Mhm.
and I recall that there's more accurate info that we somehow obtain right before we actually have to make the vote. Something gets published or something happens, and then it changes the numbers a little bit.
The
When will that happen?
the communication sales tax, the state revenue sharing, and I forget which other line item, and actual value
That's the.
that comes out from the
that's
tax
the important
collector
one, Right.
all changes just before
Okay.
our budget hearing on September 3rd.
Do we know when we get that actual value?
It varies between now and then.
Okay. All right.
And sometimes
Oh,
I've had it where we've got it, like the 1st of August and it was one thing and you get to August 25th and there's a whole
So I'm
you
just
know,
gonna throw this out.
value change that you got to play with. And that's why I say projecting the numbers too close is very difficult because all it takes is a couple of those to change and all of a sudden your revenue's down the toilet.
Fair enough. So I'm just gonna throw this into the universe that if the difference between the 4.65 and the 4.6 is like $50,000 and somehow that number ends up once published being in an extra 50 in the green, that we consider the 4
You have the,
because that's unrealized gains, we could call that. And then they will be realized and we consider it as a council. I'm putting it in the universe. Let's see what happens. We don't know.
understood, Mayor.
Okay.
That's all I have.
I guess public comment on the workshop?
I received no public comment cards, Mayor.
Okay, close public comment, and I will adjourn at 5:26 PM. Thank you.
Or for another cookie if you want it.
I'm gonna